and welcome to the stream. I'm G20, also known as Godpool by some, and it's time for another Size Zero session. This is session 3, and with me, as always, are my boys Rai.
How do you do?
And Viggi.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, make me shiver. And just if you couldn't think this could get any better, we have a guest here. We have a guest player for 1 or 2 sessions, depending on how he dies and when he dies. And that is going to be Shade.
Yep.
Now, Shade, we will introduce his character when the time comes, but thanks for being here, bro.
No problem.
So, I think around this time, I don't think we're going to need to do any additional introductions for your characters, guys, because 2 sessions are enough to learn who you guys are.
Should be.
Yeah. So, welcome to Session 3, The Magical Journey to the Office. Where we last left our shrunken adventurers, they had met some interesting people, other people that were actually alive and not somehow squished on the ground or drowned. A man named Harry Osborne and his girlfriend Stephanie Parr. They used the time and got to know each other. They checked out the outside of the bar, noticing that there was the remnants of the snowstorm that had just passed was it was still quite windy, not safe enough for them to go out yet, but hey, soon. They head back towards the countertop where they decide that they need to kind of prep themselves and get stuff if they're ever going to travel out of there. And so, our main mans, Stedimir and Einar, decide to venture to the office of this bar in an attempt to find some supplies while their new friends make kind of a camp and try to make some gear for them so that they could effectively travel outside of this establishment. And where we left them off as they were walking away, kind of had finished waving, and we're now going to attempt to get to the other side of the countertop the bar counter once more. You guys walk for a few, like 2 hours before you reach the edge. You weren't that far away from the countertop, the edge of the countertop this time around. You went down a lot closer to it. The trip seems to be somewhat uneventful overall.
Are we walking? Do we know where the office is located?
No, but you're guessing that it's probably like somewhere behind where the kitchen is.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the guess, that you'd have to go through the kitchen area. Or at least through the back.
Alright.
You're pretty sure it's not on the floor above, because there isn't a floor above.
Well, yeah. So, we just keep walking then.
Yeah. Again, you keep a lookout as you're traveling, and you don't see anyone as you walk past the counter. And you spend a few hours continuing your trek, starting to get behind the counter, and you approach the lemon water place again where all the shards are, where you kind of walk past the not looking so good Frederick. Kind of just gives you some bad memories seeing him. He being there has not done him any favors.
No,
It's starting to smell.
some time.
It's been a few days.
But I mean, it's quite a ways inside, so we don't really smell it all the way over here, right?
No, like you don't see like because you pulled them out of the water. You can like smell a little bit of foul. It's not like a strong smell. It's just like there's a little bit of a foul odor in the air.
Okay.
It could be a combination of like because a lot of the lemon water has been soaked up into the wood, and no, that's not helping anything. It's like starting to smell a little bit like wet wood and like a bit of a strong gassy smell. Not like a concerned gassy smell, just like there's a dead body there's close by you. And the thing that kind of and as you continue forward, you come across a familiar scene, a familiar face that has the man that you met during the first day of this, a man named Jonas Thorstensson. You find his body as you're walking towards where the door to the back is, and that is not a pretty sight to behold.
Oh dear. Is there something we can drape over him? I look around. Do I see anything that could be possibly used to cover him up?
No, you don't see anything like easily accessible. Yeah, no, there's nothing around like on the floor that you could try to find something later to put over him. But seeing him there does not bring happy memories. It like I'm neither of you have seen anything kind of like this. At least like when you were walking past where Frederick was, you didn't have to see him. He was quite a distance away. You just knew that you were passing by him. But you seeing him does not. Seeing him there doesn't make you feel any better about yourselves.
No.
And as you're kind of looking around trying to find something, you can see in the distance, heading the same way as you were, the form of someone walking.
Do we see anything to cover him up?
No, you didn't.
No. Unfortunately.
Not on the floor.
Well, I'd like to like put him up, maybe up to a wall or something.
Yeah, you can. It's not a like you can when you're moving him, you can just feel like his very limp body and his like bones are just very like brittle.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're lifting him up, it's like it's not like he's stuck to the ground, but it's
him.
yeah, it's not like he was stuck to the ground or anything like that. But you felt like you had to like pull a little bit more than you'd have to.
Because I'm so used to pulling dead bodies around.
No, yeah, but what you had to put a little bit more strength into it than you expected, basically.
All right.
You're a trash man, of course you're used to this shit.
Indubitably.
You get rid of the trash, remember?
Yeah, take out the trash.
Who knows how many corpses you've disposed of unwittingly?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, unwittingly, of course.
But the person you see ahead of you, the form of the person, it's kind of like a little bit hunched as they're walking. They probably walked.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I do. Hello, you there?
Shade, can you roll for me your what was it that we were doing for trying to notice shit?
That was brains.
Yeah, brains. Roll for me brains.
Alright, so
With any applicable skill.
So this is basically a difficulty 2, which means that you have to roll a 1d10.
alright.
And make it.
Yeah. And you need to get above 10 or above total.
So I'm roll amount of dice according to my brain stat.
Yeah. I know you roll 1 die and you add your brain stat to it.
Ah, okay, that explains a bit.
So your brain stat is the plus to the roll. You use 4 total.
4 total.
So in case you want, just so that you know, you can spend your luck to re-roll a die.
I'm fine.
Okay. Just so that you would know about it.
Salutations!
Oh, hear that, guys? Salutations.
Apparently not, since he doesn't see us.
Exactly. You continue on. The figure doesn't seem to have noticed you.
What is he, deaf?
Or maybe blind.
I doubt
He-
that.
He is quite a distance away from you, though. So he's not. It's not like he is. He has obviously made some distance between you. Just the flat landscape makes it really easy to see people from a far distance, basically.
I don't remember seeing him before we got so tiny. Let's see what he's up to.
So you rolled a 1 on your die. I'm just noticing that.
Yep.
But yes, you can. Whenever during the game, you can always add a skill if you have the skill points to put into it.
What?
I mean, as we have seen, we are very tiny. We must have escaped his notice.
Of course, but there's no. Quick question: is he walking towards us? As in,
No, he's walking away from you in the same direction you guys were heading.
Everybody fine?
Let's pick up speed. We might be able to catch him.
All right, but not too fast. We don't want to exhaust ourselves before the really difficult part.
I know. Just try to keep a brisk pace.
And so you kind of pick up the pace. I mean, at this point, Shade, you start hearing something closing in on you, and when you kind of turn around to see what it is, you see two guys kind of briskly walking. They're not very far away from you now when you start hearing them. They're like maybe around 100 meters away, maybe around the time when you start noticing them.
Get him!
They're like hooligans, they're swinging chains and shit. They're gonna take you now.
Oh no! Hooligans! No! I run away.
Oh, yeah, he turns around, sees you, kind of panics and runs away from you as you approach.
You idiot! Stop running away.
You hear them shout after you.
Alright. But no, in case they weren't actual hooligans, were they?
No. I was fucking with you.
Say what you like about midgets. At least they don't look down on people.
You say that, but have you met Carrie?
Oh. However,
Yeah, I'll just stop and wait.
He stops and turns around towards you and waits for you. It doesn't take you long to catch up. You see a... Alright, describe how you look.
Alright. So,
you're a pirate?
yes! No, close though. I am a man in his late 20s, brown haired, grey eyes, bit chubby, wearing a tuxedo, and has a top hat.
You know, I would say you are the strangest thing I've seen today, but that would be a blatant lie.
Would it?
How did you get here?
It's DM?
So I'm just gonna tell you right now, Shade, you're still feeling a little bit queasy from seeing the body. You didn't expect to see a body.
What body?
The body of the man I just described to the guys. That's
Okay.
why you were briskly walking away.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. However, you were just here a few days ago, what you think were a few days ago, just enjoying like a little bit of you were eating stuff before you were gonna go and do your thing later, and suddenly you just started feeling very dizzy and you fainted. And you're like way in the back, as far away from the front as you could have been when that happened. But you noticed like other people fall down at the time, so you were just here having like a basically dinner, a light early dinner basically.
Okay.
And next thing you knew, you were a tiny person, or in a large space.
Do you cast fill in?
Yeah.
Alright.
So you're just basically, you spent your days like kind of scouring about. It's not been a great time, but you managed.
Alright. Sorry, what was the question you asked again?
I don't remember seeing you in the bar. How did you get here, my friend?
I was in the back. And I've just been scouring around for the past
Yeah.
few days.
We definitely would have seen you had you been up front.
Well, my name is Einar. What is your name?
I am Óttar hinn ótrúlegi.
Well,
Can you repeat that?
that explains that, and I point at his getup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
I am
Óttar?
Óttar hinn ótrúlegi. Hinn ótrúlegi.
I
Óttar
see.
hinn
So
ótrúlegi.
a magician.
Yes.
Do you do children's parties?
Children, adults,
I see.
all kinds of parties.
Well,
The party's not on the
Maybe,
grapevine.
Maybe reaching, but we don't actually possess any real magic to whisk us back to being big, you know?
Unfortunately, no.
I feel like you
Yeah.
just pointed at your general self as a response and say what you said.
So, would you like to accompany us? We are going to Frederick's office to see if there is anything handy.
yes.
Yeah, that sounds good. Got nothing else to do.
Well,
Have you seen anyone else alive?
Have I?
No. You think it's more just you come across where people have been, but you feel like you've just been like a little bit unlucky with meeting people. They're the first ones you've actually met, but you know that there were other people around.
You're the only ones I've met so far.
Well,
I see.
In that case, welcome to the group. There are some other people at the front of the bar, countertop, who are setting up a place to stay. We were heading back there once we finish in Frederick's office.
What are you doing in Frederick's office?
Gathering stuff mostly. We don't know what is useful to us, seeing how we can't lift much.
No, but we need supplies for when we leave this place.
Yes, and if we can find anything that can help us survive out in the cold, and I point in the direction of the front door, we will need whatever we can find.
Wind is howling out there.
Yeah, the storm has kind of subsided, but not like to safe levels really. You guys have you can still like hear very faintly the wind outside. But you're like kind of far away from the door, so.
In any case, let us continue on. We can't waste more time.
That is true.
And you start walking and continue towards the back.
So, Ottar, other than party tricks, what use are you to us?
Wow!
Are you good at something else?
I'm good at brightening up the mood.
I see.
Just
Einar is like visibly down just from you saying that. Useless.
Well, in any case, seeing how we have nothing but time to spend as we walk ever so slowly, you wouldn't happen to have any magic tricks up your sleeve?
Ah, I do.
That's where you keep all of his tricks.
All of them, indeed.
Styrmir, you say no to all of my jokes, but you ask him for party tricks? I am offended.
Do you have any better ideas other than your bad jokes?
My jokes are great,
I will dispute that.
but you are just too small. They go right over your head.
Oh,
I
take
don't-
one. You take one drain damage. No, I'm joking.
Oh god, I'm unconscious. I only have one brain.
Everyone listening to the joke took one. These are deadly jokes.
Oh no.
But yes, please, Omar,
Ottar.
enlighten us with your tricks.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna do a basic amazing card trick.
Okay.
Doesn't sound very basic.
Basic amazing card trick.
Yep, basic amazing card trick.
Would he have to roll for that?
You will.
Alright,
Roll your magic trick.
alright.
I'm guessing this would be coordination. So yeah, I'm gonna say coordination.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright. So I'm just gonna. When I have an extra die on magic, for instance, on this based chance.
This is a basic one. For you, it would be just a single. I got difficulty 2, so you roll 1. But you roll 2 because you get an extra
Yeah.
one.
And I add then coordination and my skill bonus.
Yes.
Yes. So odds are you succeed this fairly easily.
Alright.
I've seen him
25.
fail at other things. No, you don't add them together.
Ah, okay.
You
Pick the highest
take,
one.
Yeah, you take
Okay. 15.
The highest. Yes.
Yeah.
All it needs is to succeed.
Yes.
Yeah. You take just, like, you basically pick the better result.
Yeah. And
Alright.
you only have to and all you have to say is if you made it or not. If I say need to roll a brains check, I rolled a 9, which means I
Alright,
made it.
okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I made it.
Okay. It does just a very, very like, he does a card trick. Pretty nice. You don't see, you don't catch how he does it.
How did he know it was the Queen of Hearts? I must know.
I was debating for the longest time whether or not it should be personality or coordination.
Coordination.
That was well done.
Bravo. Or
Thank you, thank you.
That was otrúlegt. I had to.
I'm groaning out of character. Take note.
I know. But yeah, it was pretty impressive seeing him do that trick. You kind of find it interesting that his deck of cards shrunk with him.
Well, to be fair, most of our stuff was almost shrunk with us, so
Yeah.
it's not too hard to believe.
Yeah, it's not too hard, but like still, it's a interesting factoid. But you continue towards the office, and once you when you reach towards where the door to the kitchen is, it's gotten pretty late. It's gotten really dark. To be fair, the most of the day has been spent walking around and doing stuff. You think that it's not too late in the evening. I think it might be around 7. But it's gotten really dark. Kind of hard to see.
I say we walk to the kitchen door and then we shall call it a night.
So you continue towards the kitchen door, set up a very basic way to, like a basic rest area. You don't have a lot.
Do we find a dry floor mop?
Not close to that door. At least you could possibly find it at the other side of the door.
I say, if we see it through the door, can we go to the other side?
Yeah, you can like going on. So basically, if you want to go into the kitchen, it's not hard. You just need to crawl under the door.
Yeah, we can do that.
You can easily do that.
Yeah, auto success.
Yeah, it's basically just like a little bit crawling underneath, but you know, otherwise it's fine.
Follow me, gang. I think I found a place to sleep.
All right.
Alright. Lead away.
When you walk into the kitchen, when you crawl into the kitchen, it's very dark in there. There's no light coming from at least from the other room. However, you do notice that there is one of those ceiling windows above, which lights up the area like at the other side a little bit, very faintly. Like there's a little bit more light in here than where you were because the counter was in the way. But it's still pretty dark in here. But you think it's gonna be, but with how this place kind of looks, you'd guess that it's pretty dark in there most of the time, for you at least, since you guys don't have any natural light to get in here. However, you do find very close to the door a dry mop, basically.
Nice.
We
Jackpot! I jump on it.
will sleep here until the morning when we should get some more light.
The mop is probably the most comfortable thing that you've slept on up until now.
Well, it doesn't have much competition.
No. No, it does
does
not. It is the most comfortable thing you have slept on, however, Ottar.
Oh, nice.
You mostly been sleeping on the floor, with like using your jacket as a pillow. When you wake up, is there anything you guys want to do before you go to sleep? Like eat your nuts?
Yes.
I think I'm gonna eat mine at breakfast.
Alright.
I'll have a nibble before I go to sleep.
Alright. Yeah. You also noticed that when you met Ottar, he didn't have anything with him other than this deck of cards, and whatever other magical tricks that you might have up his sleeve. But you guys go to sleep, and you wake up pretty early in the. Pretty early. You think it's probably like around 5 in the morning when you wake up. 4 or 5 in the morning. It'd be hard to guess. It hasn't started getting bright, but it's not like it's similar lighting as it was when you went to sleep.
Ottar, do you have any food on you?
Do I?
No.
I do not.
All right, here, have some of my nut.
Thank you.
I gave him half of my nut.
All right. So you eat so the nut's probably gonna be done by now.
Yeah.
When you finish eating breakfast, kind of look around, and kind of taking in this place when you're not tired is very interesting. This looks very extravagant from like being your height. So the kitchen itself kind of reminds you, like, when you've seen these metropolitan areas in cities and stuff like that. It really reminds you of like the ones that you've seen in the movies and stuff like that. Just like you're in the middle of a city, kind of. With the exception of these are like cabinets and stuff like that. But in this light, it kind of makes it feel like you're just looking at tall buildings. It's a very interesting thing to see, and when you look around, you don't see any easy way to get up to the counter, like up onto the tables. But there is a definite smell of food in the air, like not like old food definitely, but like still it kind of smells of spices and food as you'd kind of expect a kitchen to.
As Styrmir is drifting off into sleep, I say we try to reach the top of the kitchen tomorrow. There may be something other than endless nuts to eat.
That would be very welcome.
So you're gonna spend this day walking forward and just attempting to get to where you to find this office. So you continue walking through the kitchen. It's a very straightforward walk. There's not a lot of like turns to take or anything like that. You just kind of walk directly past, directly through it. You do for a moment. Alright. Everyone roll for me a difficulty 3 brains check. So for Shade, that means you roll 2d10s.
I failed twice.
Alright, let's see.
You fail both times.
Oh boy.
Actually, I might make one. Is this a sight thing?
No, this is listening.
Ah, shit. Eye power doesn't cut it.
Awareness would help me here. Sweet. That means I make both.
Yeah.
So I roll an 8 and a 6.
Oh yeah.
Because
That means you make it.
Alright. 3 and a 9 on a die.
So you take your brain and you add it to both of the rolls.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you get so you succeed one of them and you fail the other.
Right,
Basically, when it's more difficult, when you fail, like every escalation of fail just makes the thing worse. However, if you succeed, like if it's a difficulty something 5 and you have 4 die rolls, if you only fail one of them, then the result isn't going to be that bad. But if you fail more, the result gets worse.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like getting a partial success.
All right.
Since you got Óttar and Styrmir. Óttar, you hear a strange sound, but you don't know what it is. It's a kind of a weird sound in the background. It kind of freaks you out a little bit, but you don't pay too much mind to it. However, Styrmir, it concerns you a lot more. Because you hear the sound of, very faintly, like the sound of mice.
Oh, this is how I die.
Yeah, you and your damn magic tricks practically tortured the damn things.
Yeah, but you're the only one that managed
to even the score.
You're the only one that managed to tell what it is, Styrmir. And you know that those are probably mice. Or, the worst case scenario, rats.
Oh no. Are the rats?
You don't see them anywhere.
Oh,
you just hear the sound. You don't know if they're approaching or not. You just hear the concerning sounds of mice or rats.
Oh, we definitely did not need this. I wonder.
Need what, Styrmir?
The others seem oblivious.
You didn't hear that?
No, keep up, Styrmir.
Be careful. Remember those rats I mentioned earlier?
Yes.
I have a feeling they are close.
How close?
Close enough to hear.
That is either very good or very bad.
I'm going with very bad. In any case, let's see if we can find a way on top of to the higher ground region. There may be something we can use up there.
I think I have a joke to lighten up the mood.
Oh.
Would you like to hear it?
I don't think I have a choice. So
Yes.
let's...
You are very correct. For you see, I saw a midget nun today. All I could think of was, oh ye of little faith.
I need him. I need him to roll a personality test to see if Ludger lands.
Yeah.
I'm actually good at that.
You want to spell fucking skill points on jokes? No puns!
No.
Oh.
My puns are not meant to be successful.
I would have laughed if you would have done that.
But I did roll a 10, so it is.
Nice. You hear a mix of a chuckle and a sigh from Styrmir.
As all puns should be.
Even Óttar like chuckles a little bit.
Yep.
But yes, you want to try to find a way to get up?
Yeah.
Wait, are we not heading to the office?
Stidman just talked about trying to find a way to get up to the counter. Probably because he's scared of the mice.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do
All
we
right.
see a way up that's easy everywhere else?
So you look. You want to look around. So it's dark in here, and you're trying to find something. And roll for me difficulty 3 perception. Brains again, because you're trying to find items that find a way to get up.
Aha, but this is using eyes, correct?
Yes, you can use eye power here.
Activate my eye power!
I roll a 3 and a 2. I get both.
I roll a 3 and a 4. I fail both.
Just to know, what do I need to get get it?
You need to get the total of 10 or higher.
Always.
So if you have, if you have brains 3 and you roll 8, you get it. If you roll a 7, you get it. But if you roll a 6, you don't.
Alright. I get 1.
You roll the 1?
I get 1, so I roll the 10 and the 1.
So looking about, you kind of, all of you frantically look about because you don't really want to be on the floor when you, if mice start to show up, or rats. You frantically look about, and you see that one of the, like, because a lot of these are just kind of shelves as well, like not closed. You see that it doesn't look very safe, but there is a path that you could take through one of the cabinets that's just like climbing on top of pots and pans and trying to kind of climb up that path. That's the only noticeable way to climb up that you see. Because the pots are kind of angled at such a way that the handles of them are slightly out, so you could like go to the edge of the pot, like handle, and climb up that way. If somebody boosts you, that is. That's but you'd have to climb up all of the pans and pots and pans, but there are quite a few. It's not an easy climb. It's like this kitchen isn't like the best maintained, so it's like there's supposed to be a cabin door there, but there isn't. And just the pots, pans, and stuff like that have just kind of been stacked up.
Okay.
These could be old pots or pans, however, that he just hasn't thrown away. But that seems to be the only way.
We could use those pots.
That seems to be very difficult. I do not know if I can make such a trip.
I agree.
Falling from there would be highly dangerous.
There must be a better way.
I agree. Let us keep searching.
Alright.
Just as a quick glance for you guys, it seems safer than your climb up the. It seems a little bit safer than your climb up to the countertop.
Yeah, and that killed a person.
I know, but I'm saying though.
Yeah. I guess we're both, a bit scarred after that. So
Yeah.
we want to try to find a safer path this time.
They quickly deny your plan.
Alright.
You see a little bit of you see in their face kind of a no. They seem to have some bad memories with either pots or heights.
Definitely pots.
Mm-hmm.
Why not both?
Phobia for pots and pans.
No.
So, but you can still hear the mouse sound, and now that he's pointed it out to you guys, you kind of all notice that this does sound like mice or rats, or something in that direction at least.
All right, let us walk around the table and try to find the best path.
That table that you were looking at is up against the wall. There's like 2 up against the wall, and then there's like 1 middle table. You're almost at the all the way up to the middle table, like, and you could decide which path to go, the right or left path. You're not sure where the sound of mice is coming from.
Now, we see both of the tables up to a wall, yeah?
Yeah. You can also see
Which one of those two has a grill?
the one on the right. The one on the left with the pots and pans has the like sink and stuff like that.
Damn it.
I
I feel like the pots and pans one is where the food is kept,
maybe.
not where the grill is.
Though, I wonder.
Yes?
We probably would never be able to open the refrigerator or the freezer. We just don't have the strength.
That is true, but we could. We could make a way in. All of these mice sounds are giving me an idea. If
Oh,
we
boy.
find something sharp and pointy, like my stick, we could make a hole in the folds between the two and crawl our way in.
I don't like the sound.
Mouse our way in, if you get my drift.
I almost got crushed by the front door trying to do that.
Well,
We will not poke a hole in it. Just squeeze through then. This will be different.
Fine. We can try that your way.
I have great hopes for this plan, you see?
Alright. Let's try it.
Otar, you wouldn't happen to have something like some scissors in your sleeves?
Can I roll magic to have something? in
yes,
my
roll
sleeves?
magic trick to see whether or not you have some scissors up your sleeves.
Alright.
You have a 5 on that total, plus 5 with everything.
So a 1 die, right? Or
Yeah, one. It's a no. Since you're pulling something very unusual, I'm gonna say it's a difficulty 3. So 2 dice.
Necromagic?
Yeah, you always get knack for magic since when you're doing
By the way,
magic-based
it
things.
doesn't have to be scissors, it could also just be something sharp.
Yeah, it's basically seeing whether or not you get something sharp from your sleeve, which is gonna be really weird to see him pull.
I
But,
mean,
you know.
it doesn't have to be in his sleeve, it could be in his
Alright,
cape or whatever.
He said he's pulling it from his sleeve.
Alright.
So, it's a 5 plus. It's a 5 plus, I think.
I got a 7 and an 8.
You succeed.
That sounds like
If that's just on your dice.
Yeah.
Did you get- Oh, okay. Then just add both your coordination and magic to that, and the
so-
total would be what? 13 and a 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you see him just kind of, as you ask the question, he pulls out like a...
Instead of pulling it out of my sleeve, I take my top hat off and
Yeah.
pull it out that. Alright,
So he takes down his top hat, I almost said pot hat, and pulls out, to your surprise, just a large pair of scissors, like the very long kind.
What kind of children show did you put on?
And why would you keep those scissors in your hat?
magic! I do jazz hands.
Well, now we can get into the refrigerator, yes?
As he does the jazz hands, he shows you into the hat, and there's nothing in it.
I squint my eyes.
Just pure void.
Seems to be a very large pair of scissors for such a small hat. Comparatively. But you digress, and he hands you in of the scissors. These are like these are kind of like the textile scissors. Those are very long, metallic So yeah, you can just write textile scissors in your inventory. Now, basically, if you're stabbing, let's just say if you stab someone with it, then then you always do a if you're stabbing someone with this, like you can really hurt them. I'm gonna check real quick one thing in our rules thing here.
We had like levels of damage, right?
Yeah, there were 2 levels that we had. There was like a hard hit and a normal hit. A basic hit deals 1, and a heavy hit deals 2.
Yeah.
So you can get you can get a basically a heavy hit. No, it's just a normal hit, but it's. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, you can get a heavy hit if you just succeed on like one of the rolls.
Oh damn. So, are we standing in front of the fridge yet?
It takes a while. The fridge is like kind of next to the where the sink is at the other end, so you'd have to walk there. It takes a while to walk. I'm gonna write down this. Only needs 1 max on. Basically, how the rule is set is that you need to roll max on all of the dice to do a heavy hit. It's basically a crit overall, but this just makes it so that you need to roll max on one of the dice. But these are not made for this kind of stuff. So you want to walk all the way. And I'm guessing you don't want to be caught by the rats?
As much as we can.
Yeah, so I'd like for you guys to roll coordination so that you can kind of sneak around, like not make too much sound.
Alright, here we go.
Remember, Ottar, you have skill points, and since you are a magician, it wouldn't be really that far off for you to have, you know, sneaking any way you want to put it, really.
I rolled a 10.
Hide in plain sight.
Illusions.
1, 2, 3. I'll put it as illusion. Anyway, all right. Is it difficulty 1?
It's a difficulty of. I mean, they don't seem to be know where you are, know of you, so it's going to be a difficulty 2, which means 1 die.
Alright, I got a 10.
Alright. Did you add a skill?
I added 3.
Alright, you added what? Sleight of hand, I'm guessing?
Yes. Or hide in plain sight, whatever you want to call it.
Oh.
Sleight of hand actually sounds much better. There we go.
Did you also add illusion?
I'm tempting in doing that, yes.
Okay, and you put 3 points into that?
Into sleight of hand, yes.
Yes.
Of course you would.
Sleight of hand is also just that's for hand stuff. If you're sneaking around, that would probably be. It's just basically sneaking. Did you get it, Einat?
Get
Well,
what?
You were rolling to sneak.
All right.
It's a difficulty 2. By the way, if you add skills, send it to me on Quack Quack, the the very appropriately named chat channel we have.
All right. So sneaking would be coordination.
Yes.
All right. I spectacularly fail.
I rolled a 10, so I spectacularly succeed.
All right. So
I think I'm gonna spend a luck point and roll another dice.
okay.
Alrighty.
Aha! I succeed.
Oh,
I rolled a 10.
Aha.
you rolled a 10. You see for a moment as you kind of sneak around, you see for a split second where you think Einat is about to trip from like stepping on his shoelace, but he manages to save, ties the shoelace real quickly, and you continue on. He lands very quietly. He manages to not make any sound as he's almost falling.
I do like a roll, and when I'm done with the circle, I've already tied my shoelaces.
Yes. You are all very impressed by this.
You should be.
So, just as a heads up, Shade, you can use basically your skills. If you can convince me that your skill applies to the scenario, then you can use it for the scenario. You can get the plus for it. So it's like your skills kind of apply, which is like, just to have an example here, Einar has eye power, which is seeing things.
Yeah.
So if it's anything regards to seeing, he gets a +2. While Stidmir has awareness eyes.
No, I have just awareness.
I remember us talking about it. I wrote it down at the same time.
And I didn't write it down, but I will.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter now because the thing is done. But you know, I think we decided that you wanted to be able to see very well. And then, like, because Einar is a funny guy, he has legging it, which is climbing, like hiking and stuff like that. So as long as he uses his legs to climb, he gets a bonus.
Yes.
So it's just
I also have a very unique skill called work smart, not hard.
yes.
And that is very circumstantial bonuses.
Yes.
It has yet to come up.
But when it will,
It's gonna help.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you continue on, and you manage to sneak, and you reach the. After a few hours of walking, you manage to reach the other end where the refrigerator is.
Man, oh man, there could be months of food in there.
And since all of you guys were succeeded on this incredibly stressful endeavor, actually, I'll give it to the ones that succeeded it without the luck. I will give you guys a skill point.
Whoop, whoop.
All of us? Sweet.
No, just not Einar, because he had to use the luck to make it.
Ah, right.
He fumbled.
Correct, nerd.
That's kind of like the this is kind of like the straight A kid, the kid that gets straight A's telling the fucking bully to get fucked. Because you rolled and succeeded immediately.
Yep. Didn't even study for the test.
Mm-hmm. You fucking dick. You can use that however you want. At 1 extra point. But yes, you managed to reach the refrigerator. It's tall and kind of imposing to look at. It's it's a little bit freaky standing next to such a big refrigerator. like everything's been kind of freaky, but the refrigerator looks kind of extra daunting since it's way bigger, like way taller than everything else you've seen, and you're trying to get into it.
All right.
Heck no, it looks like delicious meals.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find
We've
some
just
place.
eaten nuts for like 3 days.
Yeah, our kidneys are screaming at us to stop.
I start to stab and work the fridge.
So, to reach where the rubber thing is, you're gonna need to stand on the shoulders of someone.
I will offer up.
Can we like
assistance.
climb up to that distance instead?
You could climb up to the table easily and reach, but there's like nothing proper to stand on next to the refrigerator anywhere else. Like you wouldn't be able to reach basically.
Ottar, if you could help me lift Einar up
All right.
Yeah.
and alley-oop.
Alright, do not drop me.
Okay, this is gonna take a while.
I think we like take turns to like one hacks at the fridge, the other two hold him up, and then put him down. Another one starts hacking.
Yeah.
You know, rotate so we don't get too tired.
Yeah.
And
I
plenty
want
of breaks.
I want all of you just for the duration of all of this. I want you guys to roll just a brawn check.
Oh crap.
That is just gonna be difficulty 1, and all of you get feeling lucky since all of you are helping out.
Oh my god, I got a 10.
So feeling lucky lets you roll 2 dice, just so that you know. But it doesn't matter since you rolled a 10.
I got a 10 on both, so 9 and 9.
Oh wow! I rolled a 9 and a 6, but I actually no. Was this stamina based?
Yes, actually it is. Since
Well,
because this is more about like kind of last. No, actually no, it's not stamina. It's just holding him up. It's just
Fair enough. Fair enough, because I would have gotten -1 die on that.
yeah. I thought about it being a stamina thing, but no, I thought it was more about you all switching to carve through and hold up.
I fail.
You fail.
Yeah, I rolled a 1 and a 3.
So, okay, the time while Einar is cutting through, try to cut through and all that stuff, you have no issues. He seems to cut very slowly through it, but when he goes down, who's going to be next up?
Guess it's me.
All right. After climbing up, you're kind of holding him, and you're like he's standing on your shoulders, and you're supporting, and you're like as you're adjusting yourself in it, you kind of adjust, and you just lose grip, and Ottar, you fall down because you lose your balance, and you're holding the scissors.
Uh-oh.
Now,
Can I roll a brawn in order to catch him?
yes, you can.
Alright, I will spend the luck to feel lucky.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. And I rolled a 2 and a 3. I will spend another luck just to reroll. Alright, I rolled a 7. And I have brawn 4, so I barely make it.
Yes. So as he falls, you kind of are about to catch him, and he lands in your arms, and you go like a little bit down, but your feet manage to kind of you manage to prevent yourself from falling down more with him, and you get a little bit concerned when the scissors like kind of almost hit you.
Drop them, you fool.
Alright.
He drops them down and like drop onto the floor. Probably didn't want to drop them while they were like you were below him.
You better appreciate this, man. I spent 2 luck points on this.
You'll have plenty.
Yeah.
It was a close call.
Phew, that was close.
Very.
I'll take my turn now, and I start carving away the scissors.
Yep.
You don't have any more problems. It just takes a while, and after a good maybe an hour, you manage to cut a proper size through, where if you could stand in one of them, in the hole, if you'd climb up and cut through the other part. You don't need to be supported, but you're gonna have to basically pull yourself up, and no, you don't actually have to do that since you're in such a height. So yeah, you can just kind of easily climb up, and just if you want to open the gap up a little bit more, you can just kind of cut it properly now. The biggest problem was the fact that you were kind of standing, and you had to reach up, and it was just hard to do that. Especially when it was such a uneven, standing on such uneven ground.
Alright, boys, I'm going in, and whoop.
Alright, Otter, go after him.
Alright.
I give you a boost, and Stirber, grab him.
Yep. I grab his hand.
Yep. You get it, no problem. And it's really weird. And this is a little bit cramped in there. You can kind of scoot next to each other, but it's still pretty cramped since it's meant to kind of hold things, kind of isolate. But you can get to work.
I think I will be on the lookout, because there is no way I can jump this high.
Oh, we'll be right back.
Can I magic a rope?
Well,
Ooh.
roll for me a difficulty fucking 5 magics check. That means you need to succeed on all of them.
So, how many die? 3?
No, 4.
4. Alright.
You need to succeed on all of them.
You roll 4, and remember, you get an extra one because you know magic.
Yeah, you get to roll 5 total, and you
Alright. So I need to get a 10, right?
you need to get a 10 on
Alright.
all of them, except for one of them, because that's an extra one.
Alright, so the first one
Yes.
is a 10 on the die.
Okay.
The second is an 8 on the die.
Okay.
Third one is a 6 on the die.
Okay.
Fourth one is a 1.
Oh boy, you can spend luck if you want to reroll that at the end, but you failed one of them.
The final was a 5.
Oof.
Okay, so you just made that one.
Yeah. So he makes it.
Perfect.
Yeah, he makes it. So somehow from his sleeve he pulls out rope, and it just keeps on going for a very short while. He pulls out a 3-meter long rope.
What sort of children party do you go to?
It's long enough to be believable that he could have hidden it on him, basically.
Children, adult.
Yeah, very adult.
I climb up the rope.
I tie it to one of the.
There's nothing to tie it on in there.
Well, fine then. I'll just hold on to it.
You can tie it around yourself and hold on to it like that, but you could do that after he comes up. The height that you were, yeah. But yeah, you climb up without any difficulty since it's such a short distance. And you have a 3-meter long rope now, so somebody write that down. I'm guessing I'm guessing Othar is writing it down.
Yeah. Othar should keep it. Who knows? He might want to pull it out again.
Yeah.
Alright, through the rope. Put down.
That was amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah,
That's
it was unbelievable.
Translation jokes.
Yeah.
for those who are wondering. Octar in Otrule could be translated as "Amaze of the Amazing."
Basically.
Otto the unbelievable.
Yeah. Otto the Unbelievable actually sounds better.
Otto.
Because that's almost directly translated. Actually, it is directly translated.
Yeah.
But yes, you can try to continue cutting. It's not going to take a long time now since you're actually like standing properly. It's mostly tiresome.
We take turns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't
And
exhaust ourselves.
in about half an hour, you manage to cut open a proper hole, and you can see into the refrigerator. It is cold. Like as soon as as you're cutting, you can feel like the cold air.
Thankfully, we are wearing outside clothes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, but once you open it, it gets like you get like a. It's not as cold as you expected it to be, but it's still pretty cold.
Well, at least there's no wind in here. That's the killer.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh, up we go.
It's probably colder outside.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, up we go.
Alright, so it's not very hard to climb in there because it's just kind of how the kitchen's laid out. There's so much stuff there and it's not hard. However, I want you just, for your entire time in here, just roll a, it was a brawn for climbing? Yeah, brawn.
Brawn for. Yes.
For climbing. And you get legging it with it.
Here we go. Oh,
You're
What was the roll? I didn't
Oh.
hear it.
people breaking up.
Oh my god.
scored failing.
One moment, guys.
Oh,
Oh my god, Discord's just almost failed here. I'm trying to connect back to the chat.
It's just scored.
It fixes once you okay, it does not fix when you disconnect and reconnect.
Nah. It's just
fine for-
Oh,
connectivity.
It's a bit of a lag.
wow, Discord's being great to us. Woo!
Yeah.
But yes, guys, it's
High
a
quality content, people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, the climb thing, it's just going to be a difficulty 2 climb. And if you have anything that is regarded as a climbing skill, you can use that as well.
Alright.
I will pick legging it.
I will pick climbing because I have 1 rank in that.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 7.
Yeah, you said this was a brawn?
Yeah, this is a brawn.
Oh my god!
Did I? Don't tell me.
I fail.
Oh,
You both of you fail?
I
Not
succeed.
made a single roll without spending luck this session.
Look, I have 1 in brawn.
Yeah, I have 3 and 2 in legging it. I needed a 5.
So you've used both of your luck, right? Yeah.
I don't know, I have 1 luck point left.
Okay.
I'm just not gonna use it on this.
Shade, you have luck if you want to use it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait to use it until I might die.
You're not gonna die.
Don't you know me?
So, you the thing that is really difficult about climbing in here is that you're climbing on a lot of food that has been it's pretty cold. This is made specifically kind of to freeze and hold it at really low temperatures for a while, and it's not starting to thaw right away, but it's starting to it hasn't thawed, but it's starting to very slowly thaw, so it's a little bit slippery as a little bit of liquid is starting to form. And you're climbing in this and you slip a few times, which ends up not so great for you guys that failed this.
Oh.
So,
Wait, I would have gotten an extra die on this because I have steady feet. So, yeah, well, since it's a balancing
That's
act.
true.
Well, I made it either way, so
Yeah.
I'm fine.
So what basically happens is that I'm going to roll a d3 to decide which one of your physical things is going to get hurt as you slip.
Wait, what happens if something goes to 0?
As long as it's not health, you're good. Okay,
Oh God, please
so
don't be health.
coordination for Einar. You take 1 damage in coordination, which means
Down to 1.
yes. It takes healing these is a lot more difficult than healing like anything else, because this is actually like kind of significant damage. Which is why Stidmid still has only 2 health.
Yes. That's
And
not good.
you kind of sprain your ankle in a very uncomfortable way. And like you step really bad and you kind of slip and hurt your foot, and it's not so,
this fucking fuck.
it's not so bad that you can't step in your stand, but it's really uncomfortable, so you get a minus into your coordination. And you take in your brawn.
Okay, I'm at 0.
So you fall, like you slip and you fall, and as you fall, you kind of try to grab into something. You try to when you fall and you put your hand below you to kind of soften the fall. As you do that, you kind of hit your hand, don't manage to put the hand down properly, and all of you hear like a. So and you can immediately feel that something in your arm is broken. And it doesn't take you long to figure out that it is your forearm. So, health concerns. Broken forearm.
Alright, are you also
That did not sound very
you're also
good.
editing the sheet for me, aren't you?
Yeah, I do it on my side also.
Alright. Can you then add 1 to illusion for the extra point we got from beforehand?
Yeah. -1 die on all checks that require
Luckily,
both arms.
I have all the things needed to make a splint.
Yeah. But as long as you have the broken forearm, you're going to get a -1 die on all checks that require the use of both of your hands.
I'm gonna put his arm into a splint.
Yeah. It's basically because now, when you
My beloved flag turned into a splint.
It's basically because when you normally use both of your hands to do something, now you need to use one hand to do it. So it makes it a lot harder. And you will automatically fail difficulty 2 checks, basically. And yeah, you will always have 1 failure to things. Copy, and I'll send this here.
Thank you.
Now, yeah, you guys hear this, and it is a nasty sound.
Ouch.
He slipped on some ham.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, as we said in the beginning of this is a new system and we might change the rules on the go.
Yes.
I've been thinking about exactly that thing, getting a minus die to something.
Yeah.
I feel it's very strange that when you have penalties in something, the easiest checks you can't make, but the more difficult ones you can. So
It's,
I'm thinking instead of reducing the die that you get to roll, you instead increase the difficulty by 1. So instead of difficulty 2, it will be a difficulty 3.
Or we could instead just get a minus on your die rolls, meaning everything you roll becomes -1. So if you just build
I think for like I think for more serious things, I think increasing the difficulty makes more sense.
Yeah, but for example, like when Styrmir was like running and it was a very easy, endurance thing, but he couldn't get it because he was a smoker, but he could go for the long runs instead, and it kind of didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That needs to be modified.
Yeah. I'll change it to basically increases the difficulty of checks requiring both the use of both arms
by 1.
Yeah. The -1 die is more like a situational thing.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you should always have a chance to do the thing. It's just,
do you know where? If it's in our rules, can either one of you gentlemen change it if you can see it in the rules? In the rules?
When you linked the rules to the viewers, you kicked me out of it as well, so I can't.
What?
You put it as view only for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I need to request access.
I'll do that. Copy link and send it back to you. There.
Oh no, I have it. I just can't edit it.
Yeah. I'm sending you to like a link that anyone
I can edit it now.
Yeah. I just changed the link type and everything.
Nice.
Right.
It depends on what link you use. What happens basically? Oh.
I think we should put that into situational modifiers.
Yes.
I'm gonna edit it as the D thing.
Then the broken arm thing.
I completely forgot that we can assist each other for extra dice.
That's true. Well, we usually do that and automatically succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're assisting like you're assisting in a very like basic areas. So I like when you're assisting something that would require a roll, you could either have it so that assisting either gives you 1 extra roll or lessens the difficulty by 1. Because we've been kind of acting like the assisting does that. Assisting lowers difficulty by 1. You guys done for that?
Yeah.
Sure. Time.
There we go. There. And that. Yeah, I think that's better. All right. Continuing. Yeah, yeah, the sound is pretty shit, and you attempt to splinter it.
Yes.
I mean, do you know how to splinter a thing?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll like a. I'm gonna have you roll a brains with a difficulty 3 since you have no idea what you're doing.
All right. However, I would like to use the work smart, not hard, because I have my flag, which is a stick and a tissue.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go. You can do it.
And I would like to ask Styrmir to assist me on this.
I unfortunately don't think I can assist because I don't have any skills.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Medicine.
I mean,
I
I
made
don't-
the first one.
Do
Yeah,
I need?
I don't think it, like if they don't know what they're doing, if they don't know how to help you, I don't think assisting would help.
Okay.
Uh,
And I'm gonna spend my last luck on this. All right, I make it twice.
nice. Well done.
I got 7, 2, and a 7.
Whew.
Making it. Heck yeah. I have splintered it for you.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, you will not be able to do any of your tricks. But this should recover faster now.
Thank you.
At least your bone has been set what they think is right. It doesn't feel like as horrible as it did before.
I
And-
probably felt pretty horrible when I was setting it.
Yeah, that felt really bad. So I'm gonna guess you don't have your splinters anymore.
No, as I aptly named it, the Flag of Destiny, is gone.
Okay. You still have the text, for me at least, you still have the textile scissors in your inventory. I'm just gonna keep it there. Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I'll keep it.
So, you managed to kind of fix up Otto's hand, and yeah, you're kind of, as you finish up, you're sitting on this ham and you kind of help him up. You're like, you've been kind of checking out this place. There isn't, like, there's a lot of food in here. Most of it's starting to thaw. The things that you think you could easily take with you, at least, especially since you have scissors that could help you, like, make it smaller, is, like, you could easily take the ham, and you could easily take, like, all sorts of like, you could take some bacon. You'd need to cook it, and you can cut off, like, parts of meat, like, very thin meat. There's, like, honky kit there for, like, sandwiches and stuff like that.
We go for the hunky kit.
Hand me those scissors.
We don't need to cook that. Here you go, my friend.
I will cut us out some bags so that we can carry this stuff.
Oh, that is a smart thing to do.
Do. Scissor sounds intensify.
Exactly. Right arm. Yeah, you managed to cut out something that you can use as a bag. It's nothing great, but you can use it. You could also, like, you could definitely not take the entire thing because it's so heavy. For like, but you could definitely take, like, quite a lot of it.
Yeah, we'll rip it into tiny pieces and bag it.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you're gonna spend, like, quite a bit of time ripping it down, cutting it down, and, like, putting it into your makeshift bags. You're cutting out bags from, like, other stuff in there, right? Because there's, like, you can easily find something that is in a bag, and you just cut that out.
I mean, we try to just use the packaging of the thing that we're taking.
Yeah. Okay. And you managed
So we
to
don't open more things and just have them expire as well.
Yeah. So you managed to open up and make, like, a few bags out of the honky kit bag.
Smoked ham.
Smoked
is what you're
ham.
thinking of?
Yeah. And you managed to make, like, quite a few, like, at least 3 or 4 4 bags out of it. You can you can put quite a bit of meat into it.
Finally, some protein.
It's not comfortable in here, but you realize that this is probably like, at least with the mice out there, this is probably the safest place in in the kitchen.
Go figure.
We should all eat something here as well before we leave, so
Yeah.
we're taking more with us. As I'm like tearing things up, I also put them in my mouth.
Yes.
Getting some actual meat for once, like some it is amazing compared to like the salted nuts you've been eating.
Yeah.
Salted meat, much better than the salty nuts.
You think the only thing that's kind of not great about the situation is that you don't have anything proper to drink?
Is there ice here?
There isn't ice exactly where you are, but there is like stuff thawing and there's like water coming from that. You can drink that. It's not great water, but it's water.
It's life-saving water is what it is.
Yes.
It's delicious, is what it is.
It's really refreshing. Tastes
It's water
really
with some
weird.
extra meat flavor.
Yes, you drink the meat water and it's like, oh.
Meat flavor, my best flavor.
It tastes quite nasty, but you know, you drink it and you continue on. Yeah, it tastes really nasty, by the way. But you chug it down just because you don't want to dehydrate. You notice that you think that just as with everything else that requires electricity here, the power on this fridge has probably gone off like a few days ago, which is why everything's starting to thaw. It just probably held the cold air really well.
Yeah.
And now that you've made a hole, that might not be the case anymore. It was a proper fridge until you made a hole in it.
I mean,
It's still a proper
desperate
fridge.
needs.
Yes. But the smoked meat is gonna last you for a long time, even if it's not frozen up. At least long enough, let's just say that. It's probably not going to expire.
Alright, let's go back down and continue to the office.
Alright, so you make your way up. It's a lot easier getting down. You take like an hour break in there while eating and getting stuff. Again, this place doesn't, like, it's cold, but not incredibly cold. Like, if you'd have proper gear and shit, like proper clothing and stuff like that, you could easily rest there, but it's not the greatest thing. But you go down. When you go to the hole and look out, you do notice a creature, roughly a mouse size, scurrying behind a counter.
Oh.
Very far away from you, but it moves a lot faster than you guys do.
How big?
Looks really big.
Compared to us.
Looks pretty big compared to you guys in a distance.
So you lied to us. This is not mouse-sized.
I mean, you're the size of an ant. Remember that.
Yes, but from our perspective, this is not mouse-sized. This is like fucking...
This is a bear-sized mouse.
Yeah.
I mean, a mouse would be really big compared to you guys right now.
Oh, that is just the worst.
It's you're not sure whether or not it's a mouse or a rat. That's the thing. Looks really big. That could definitely be a rat, though. Looking at it. Wait, what? How'd that happen? Whoops. All right. Thanks, Bucket. I accidentally changed the screen to a wrong screen. I don't know how that happened, but it did. I may have accidentally hit a key that I wasn't gonna hit. No, actually, that's not on a quick button. Anyway.
So you
Sorry
meant
about that.
to do it, is what you said.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about that.
So.
But yes, it could definitely be a rat. It's hard to tell from this distance.
I think we should hurry.
Indeed, let's keep our eyes open.
Yeah.
Otar, can you watch behind us as we move with utmost speed?
Indeed, I can.
You think, just as a quick note to you, think it would be easiest to put Otar down first? because he can't climb down without help.
I do say we put some plastic after us to just in case, so the food will live longer. But we put plastic over the hole.
I don't think it might help much if
Not
the fridge
much.
itself is off.
Yeah,
And
that's
everything
true.
will just go bad either way. So, in that case, let's hurry and
Yes.
we start scurrying towards the office.
Alright, so there is a door at the other end of the kitchen, which you can see once you've been helped, once you all get down. It's not hard to get you all down, it's not a far drop. And I think the biggest problem was letting your friend, your new ally, Otar down.
I mean, we have the rope.
Yeah, it's still like it's because he needs to use one hand. So I need to write in my notes. They got some hungry cute. I need to write that. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, you probably got like at least with your bags, like you don't think that you could eat all of this in like a day. You think you could have like maybe split between all of you, like taking in your 2 other friends, maybe 2 days worth of hunky kit, or 3. You'd probably want to pick up some more before you go back, because you're probably going to be eating a lot of it.
Also some with that disgusting, delicious water.
Ew. Mew. But yes.
Office.
But yes, you head towards the door at the other end. I'm guessing you guys want to continue your sneaky approach.
Yes,
So I want you all to roll your coordination again. And Einar, remember, you get a -1 because you lost 1 in your coordination.
I know.
Oh boy, here we go.
It wasn't bad enough to make you limp, but hey, it's not great.
I fail.
Oh.
Wait, what's the difficulty?
It's the difficulty of, because they don't know of you, it's still just the difficulty of 2, so it's 1 die.
I fail.
I succeed.
You succeed, and Ottar?
I can use sleight of hand, right?
How would you use sleight of hand to sneak?
Or illusion?
Theoretically, it could work.
Yeah. How would you use illusion to sneak around?
Does he have a cloak?
Yes, he does have a cloak. So he just like kind of swings it in a distracting way and just.
Ooh.
You do not see me! He yells.
He has some glitter
And lo and
dust.
behold, they did not. They just heard him.
He has a mirror in his pocket. Just pulls it out and just holds it in front of his face. I guess you could. It's like you're walking in the middle of a room, so you don't have anything to like kind of use as an illusion tool, like anything to hide you with, basically. Like unless you're gonna walk along the counter.
Yes.
You could. I would allow you if you all go along the counter to use illusion, because you could make it so that you look more like the darkness that's there.
Yep.
Actually, since it's pretty dark, you could use illusion. Yes, I'll allow it.
Perfect. Then I make it.
The night.
Okay. If it would have been bright, I would have not allowed you to use it, basically. Because you can hide in the darkness with your black cloak.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, you failed, did you say?
Yes.
Do you want to luck it?
I don't have any more luck.
Oh, you used...
My last luck to fix his arm.
Ah, yeah, you did.
And thank you for that.
Oh, I know why
You're
it...
very welcome.
I know why it changed. For some reason, I have a 0 set as a quick thing to change as a hotkey to switch screens. Gonna remove that. Gonna remove that.
You're smart, you know.
S and Murty.
There we go. There you go. Okay, that's not gonna happen again because I'm using the numpad to change your numbers and shit like that. All right. So, continuing on, you sneak around and you don't think you have attracted any attention from the mice/rats. And when you're like once you've kind of, you're almost at the door, and you can see at the door that you could squeeze underneath this door. It's not as easy as getting into the kitchen. If you go and like squeeze yourself underneath, it will take effort to do it. But you could get to the other side that way. I want you all just to see if you notice, see something. You can use your eyes for this, eye powers, to roll a brains check for your to seeing things.
Alright, here we go.
And since you're actively looking out for the mice/rats, I will give you all a feeling lucky.
So
So you all get an extra die.
Oh,
oh,
crap.
then I make it.
That's a
rolled a 3 and a 2.
Oh, well, you don't see it.
Lo and
And
behold, I fail yet again.
Ah,
so,
I would have failed it, but you know the lucky dice.
Otar, you notice at the side of the counter, the other side of the counter that you just that you didn't go where the grill is.
Yep.
You see, like a rat/mouse there. That kind of notices your presence at the door and kind of looks up as it's trying to get a better view of you.
Guys,
Yes?
yes.
the rat noticed us.
Quick, under the door. Quickly.
All right, you know, as you move kind of faster towards the door because you're not all the way to the door, you're very close to it. You see the rat go down, and it's starting to scuttle over. So you go down on, like, crawl down, and you're gonna try to crawl underneath this. You're gonna try to squeeze yourself underneath here. Now, how do you want to do this? Describe to me how you want to go underneath this and try to
All right.
squeeze through.
So, Styrmir, you go first. I will hold. I will then hold it up so so Otar can just crawl right through without any difficulty, and then I will go last.
It's not rubber or anything like that. The door's just that low.
Oh,
So you couldn't lift it even if you tried. Unless you'd have super strength.
I activate my secret super strength. Lift the door and hit the rat with it.
Dr. New, he is actually Ratted from Legend.
No.
Lel. He has the wrong name. But yes, you would have to like just seeing how fast the rat/mouse moves, you don't think you'd have time to go one at a time. Because the creature moves a lot faster than you do.
All right.
Actually, it's quite terrifying seeing it coming towards you. So I'm asking how you want to attempt to go underneath so that I can decide what kind of roll it's going to be for you. So how do you want to go underneath and try to squeeze?
Well, he's got a broken arm.
Which is awful. Wait, did I make it through yet?
No, you haven't gone through because you haven't told me how you're going to go through. Because this will require a die roll.
I will.
This will be a difficulty. Oh,
I
it's just
charmed the door to open for me.
no.
Alright.
So I'm going to say that this is, since you're squeezing underneath the door, it's just like it's going to take a little bit more effort, so it's a difficulty 2.
All right.
But
I will.
But tell me how you're going to go underneath, because that will decide what what you will roll for it.
I will go
Right.
prone.
I will go into full run and just jump on the greasy floor and try to slide as far as I can under, and then try to start crawl.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I'm just gonna tell you because you'd immediately see it. You would probably hit your head on it.
What do you mean?
So the reason why this is a roll is because it's very tight. You're gonna have to like lie down completely and like kind of crawl through. And
Would
it's
I see if the door crack on the side would have more room than the crawly bits.
not from where you are right now. And it's more like you probably don't want to try to risk it since like. All right, let's put it into perspective. What's about to happen? There is probably a rat coming towards you very fast. You don't really have much time to think. You're just
All right.
trying to get underneath,
all right.
and
I'm
you
gonna
know.
go in reverse.
Yeah. Okay. So
legs
you're gonna
first.
legs first. Okay. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that is probably gonna be bronze since you kind of need to pull yourself in at the end.
Yeah.
So you can
Okay,
roll
you
brawn. Let's start with you since you've told me what you're doing. You're all doing this at the same time. I just want to see what he does first.
Okay.
Right,
Did you fail?
Yeah.
You get stuck. You don't manage to pull yourself properly. You're stuck on something.
Right. Luckily, I have scissors in hand, so if it comes close, I'm gonna snap it.
All right. So, yeah. The two of you. Ottar, how do you want to do this? Describe.
I'm thinking of oof. I want to. I don't know, slide through.
It'd be really hard to slide because
What I was gonna do.
yeah, it's basically it's so low down that you kind of have to squeeze through. You need to get as low to the floor as you can.
I think I want to try to get like head first.
Head first. Okay. Now since this is gonna require you to kind of pull your self with your one hand, you're gonna have to roll a are you gonna try to pull yourself through or are you gonna try to scoot through?
Scooch.
Scooch. Okay, then you can roll coordination because you're kind of trying to use your flexibility to get underneath.
Right.
And okay, you make it with that. Okay, sweet. So I was just gonna give you a hint. If you could have, if you could have convinced me, because there are magicians that do magic tricks that make them fit into spaces that they don't normally shouldn't fit
was-
into.
Thinking of it.
You would have had to convince me to do it, but I was just gonna tell you about it since it's your first time playing. But yes, you make it through. You kind of scoot through. It's a little bit slower than if you pull yourself, but you manage to make it through. Now, Stidimit, how are you gonna try to get through it?
I will drop down prone and attempt to crawl through.
Crawl through.
Dragging myself through.
All right, so this is a brawn check for you.
All right. So I am technically if I am crawling on the floor, does that count as climbing along? Or am I stretching it?
You know what? I'm gonna allow that because that was fucking great.
He's climbing vertically.
He's doing vertical climbs because you could use the same tactics to pull yourself forward.
It's horizontal climbing.
Yeah,
see.
you could use the same tactic to pull yourself forward.
All right, here we go. That gives me a +1, so I need it. Oh crap! I rolled a 2. I'm gonna use a luck point.
You're with me.
All right, here we go. I rolled a 10. Yay!
Oh, that was concerning
I've been
for a moment.
abandoned.
Phew.
Yeah. So you can see the feet of Einar, but you don't see the rest of him coming through. You see him struggle, and at this moment, The rat is very close. It's
I'm gonna start
very close to you.
I'm gonna start pulling on him.
Okay. So, roll for me a brawn check. And, but before you do that, you start feel tugging on you, Einat.
Yes.
So I want you to do me a favor.
Yes.
Just, this is mostly for entertainment sakes, but roll coordination for me.
With what?
Just a pure coordination check. Just
Alright.
an easy one.
Yeah, I fail.
Okay, so because he doesn't manage to time it.
What do you mean size stuff? You know I have 1 in coordination.
So just because he doesn't manage to like time it correctly as you're pulling, he just kind of gets a little bit in the way when you're doing it. So instead of being a difficulty 2, it's going to be a difficulty 3 brawn check for you. So roll 2 dice. Alright, you would have gotten basically like you would have started feeling lucky otherwise. Steinmit?
Sorry, what was that?
You get to it's a difficulty 3
All right.
because he didn't manage to he's just kind of hindering your movement.
All right. Oh boy, here we go. And I rolled a 1 and an 8. I'm going to re-roll that 1 and go down to 1 luck point remaining.
Okay.
Come on. And I rolled a 2. I only succeeded 1.
Oh, okay. You managed to pull him like halfway through, and that's and your head is still like your head is like halfway out, halfway in. You can but whatever was holding you, like you feel something on your back rib, probably like your jacket or something like that. Not as much of a worry, but now you know that there is something holding you on your back, and you can, if you want to, try to kind of scooch along and pull yourself. It would still be a brawn check for you. The rat is basically all the way to the door. This is just like the last moment you have before it's gonna try to do something to you.
Alright, instead of trying to scooch under the door, can I, like, prepare myself to just snap the scissors at it?
You can.
Because, like, they're pulling me already.
Yeah.
And I don't feel very confident in scooching under the door because I feel something snagging on me.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, like, wait, ready, and aim the scissors at its like snout and just like ready to snap on it.
Okay. All right.
I have dealt with rats and mice before. I'm a trash man.
So never.
I am the master of my fate.
You have never
I'm not
dealt
so
with rodents of unusual size.
Yes. I mean, technically seen, you are. It's humans of unusual size.
No.
No. No.
They're just a myth. They're talking about there's no rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, of course not.
Of course there isn't. By the way, Stidmit,
Yes.
there you go. I fixed your thing.
Ah, right. I will.
So, what happens is, okay, you're ready, and as it's about to, like, it's kind of comes all the way up to you, and it basically just sees you as food, so it's gonna try to, it's going to attempt to bite at you. And since
I will first snipe at it.
Exactly, since you're ready, you can just try to stop it with your, like, trying to stab it with your with the scissors instead of basically dodging it.
Yeah. From hell's hearth I stab at thee.
All right, roll for it. This is going to be, since I mean it's moving, it's just going to be a difficulty 2.
All right.
It's
Now, since I am stabbing it,
it's not.
would you say I could add accuracy on this?
Yes. basically since the this obviously looks like a rat, by the way. Since it's this close to you, but since it is basically just moving straight towards you, it's not very hard to hit it. It's just going directly at you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's a difficulty 2. It's not trying to. It's not expecting you to attack it, basically.
All right. Nonetheless, I succeed twice.
Oh, sweet. So, you manage to stab it in the snout as it's about to bite you, and it just recoils, like makes this like just horrible rat-like squeaking sound that's just like as you stabbed it in the fucking nose. It's a horrifying sound. And
What hell's heart I stab at me?
this gives you you can, if you want to against it, you can try to pull him through. You get another shot at it since he's not being
Ottar, quick, help me. Do I get an assist?
if Ottar comes and helps you.
Yep, I'll help.
That's no rat, it's a demon. So you're getting, it lowers the difficulty by 1.
Oh, sweet.
So it just makes it a difficulty 2 instead of 1.
Oh, fair enough. I accidentally rolled 2 dice, but I made both, so it's...
Yeah, okay. Then it doesn't matter since you made both.
Yeah.
We changed assist so that it works instead of... Because we've been doing assist so that it lowers the difficulty rating this entire time. So it just makes more sense.
Yeah. Alright. So
as you stab it, you just look at it, say your thing, and you just pulled underneath.
Yeah.
By the way, when you're pulling, you feel like... You feel the scratch of something behind you, and when you pull, you see that there's like a splinter that you got, that's not very, doesn't go very high, but it caught onto your jacket and just ripped it.
All right.
Yeah, your jacket's still wearable, but it's obviously torn.
That's fine.
But yes, when you get out, you can see that Einar's face is just sweaty. He is breathing quite heavily. And
Goodness for these scissors.
what the hell was that sound?
I stabbed the rat in the face.
Oh, was it?
It will not be disturbing us anymore, I think.
Unless it comes back with friends.
you hear the skittering sound kind of disappear slowly.
I don't think rats are very brave beings. If they get hurt like that, I don't think they'll come back.
So, Einar, I want to give this to you because I thought that was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
So, I'm gonna give you a skill that's called Rat Hunter. And you get a 1 proficiency in it from me.
Nice. Rat Hunter.
I was debating whether or not it should be a skill or a special talent,
Yeah.
but I wanted it to be a skill. So you get a +1 to all of your things towards rats right now.
All of my dealings with dubious rats.
Want to know why I decided to make it a skill? Want to know what was the convincing argument for it?
Why?
Because you said, I've dealt with many a rat.
That's true.
So yeah, congratulations on getting your second DM point into the goose point into something.
Heck yeah.
And I'm also gonna give you, Stidmid, for your climbing attempt. I'm also gonna give you a point because I thought it was a very cool way to interpret it, climbing on the ground. As silly as it sounds, so you get the DM point, the Goosemaster point.
Yeah, so I'm popping that into another rank.
Yeah, the last one. We should have marked. I should have, on hindsight, I should have probably marked the last one as the Goosemaster point. That's fine.
We know what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just good to follow it to know which one is what.
Yeah. We will never mark the last one unless you tell us, so we know what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys are you look around and you're not in the office. You're in like a small hallway. There's like carpet on the floor here, which is part of the reason why it was really difficult getting underneath. So you had to kind of scoot on on top of the carpet and stuff like that. It was really uneven. And
I tried bouncing on the hairs of the carpet.
you get like it's a little bit springy, but it's springier than what you'd expect. It's also like when you were lying, at least for you, Einar, when you're lying on it, it's pretty comfortable overall.
This could be a good place to sleep.
Yeah. Things you do see here. You do see that there is a bathroom, like a WC there. Probably just a staff toilet, and then there is further down the hallway. There is what seems to be an office. At least the door that is like half ajar, and you can see like a desk.
What do you mean? I thought it was a door, not a jar.
Yeah, no, don't worry, it's just half a jar.
Dicks.
I would say that.
A WC. What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Yeah. They call it a. They call it the VC basically, if I remember correctly. It's just an easier way to say it. I don't care. So, but yeah, you.
That's where you get close at. It's just closet.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and looking around here, there are like you can see very high up. There are some images, like photos on the wall, or at least some framed pictures. It's really hard to see them from this angle. They're pretty high up and not very big. There seems to be what you would think is a closet, like immediately to the right of the door.
Is there any chance of scooching under that door, or is it completely sealed?
You could scooch underneath that door.
I'd rather not. Not after that harrowing experience.
I mean, you don't see any rats here.
Keyword is you don't see.
That doesn't mean they're not here.
That is very true.
Is there like a desk here?
No, this is just a hallway. There's a desk further in the office itself. This is just like a very short hallway.
Let us go to the office, yes?
Yes.
You walk. It takes you like maybe half an hour to reach the office itself. It's not very long. Half an hour to an hour, somewhere between there. And that's and you walk into this large office, what seems to be a large office space from your perspective. There are many shelves holding various documents and items, probably related to the business, like tax and like invoices and all that stuff. You can see on the desk there is a laptop. You can't see whether or not it's on or off. There's also seems to be like a bunch of stuff there. You also see like the glimmer of a paper clip. Like you've seen those jars that you keep like all of your paper clips in. It seems to be like one of those on top of the desk. There seems to be a filing cabinet.
Excellent. You can use some of this stuff.
Yes, let us look for a safe way up on top of this desk.
Perhaps an electrical cord or something.
Yes. Óttar, you probably should stay down here. You're in
Yes.
no condition to climb.
Probably might be smarter. I'll keep an eye out.
Yes. Try to look for useful things here on the ground.
And rat.
All right. So as they head off, you kind of stay on the ground, and you're just basically kind of looking for stuff on the ground.
All right.
And you guys head towards the desk. It doesn't take you very long. It takes you maybe the better part of a half an hour. And you, once you get there, like, this room is decently lit, actually. There's a window in here. And when you reach the desk itself, you can see there's like a trash basket. They can help you get up, like, that's made out of kind of the same material. It's, what's it called? The trash bag. Yeah, grated, basically.
Right.
Which makes it, and it's, yeah, and you can actually get a pretty good grip on those. It seems to be the easiest thing to climb, actually. And and it's close to the chair, so you could easily get on top of the chair from there. It's like, it's a pretty big trash basket, and it's like next to the chair.
Ottar, perhaps we get the rope while we climb?
You shout from a distance, or did you walk with them to the desk?
Yeah, I walked with them first to the desk.
So they hand you the rope. I'm gonna write the rope to Einar because he asked. Just
hacking, yeah.
And how do you want to do this? You're walking to the trash can. It seems to have stuff in it, but it's mostly just paper and stuff like that.
Mostly, you say?
Time to go dumpster diving.
I'm very good at that.
Huh?
You're gonna have to climb up and back into it if you want to try to look for things in it, or if you want to try to see something before you go in, you can roll your eye stuff and try to see.
I will.
Eye power activate.
Eye power activate.
Activate! It didn't work. I see nothing of use, but that has never discouraged me before.
So you're gonna have to climb, though. It's however, since this is literally just this is kind of like climbing up a staircase, a ladder. I mean, yeah. So you don't actually need to roll anything for that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And you get in there, and I'm guessing both of you go.
We do. I just let him go first because
There seems to be in there like a old old paper coffee cup that like somebody maybe brought him some coffee and he threw it there.
That smell too good.
You see just a bunch of paper. You see some like plastic bag stuff there. You do actually see like one paperclip there. That's maybe gone there by accident, maybe not.
Excellent. We can use it.
Yes.
Right.
But not for climbing.
No, but
I just push it out of one of the holes.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Hey, Ottar, grab this.
Armed?
It's a paperclip. It's not heavy.
Fair enough.
One arm? What do you think this is?
I don't know. I can't see up there.
They're not up.
We're in the trash.
They're in the trash can.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm the trash man.
They're just squeezing it through the trash can.
Garbage.
And you can like easily pull it. It's grated enough that you could push it through.
Nice.
And yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of use in there. However, one thing you do see that is seems to be somewhat convenient is you find you think that this might have been like a box or like something for like very small batteries, like may have been the disc batteries. I fucking forget what they're called. They are just the round flat ones, the flat batteries.
Yeah.
It's a very small box that's like, when you take it in your hands, it's like...
It's like a chest.
Yeah, kind of. There's nothing in it. It's been thrown away. But you could easily... But you could easily... Just if you get some stuff, you could easily put some... Like, if you could put rope on it or something like that, you could easily make a backpack out of it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you want to write... so I'll write for you a basically... a box. Flat battery box. It's like, it's not one of the big ones. It's a small flat battery box.
All right. And now comes the difficult one, where you have to get up there, and I look up.
First we get on top of the chair, dude.
Oh, yeah. All right. Here you go.
All right, so you climb up, and getting onto the chair is a lot easier than it looks. Actually, you're looking at the chair, and when you're looking at it from down below, you think it's gonna be a bit of a doozy, but when you actually are there, it's just like you can reach the chair without even trying to stretch. It's a bit of a balance issue, but it's not that hard since you actually can like plant your feet proper, like get a proper hold. You can grab onto the chair and just kind of pull yourself over. It's
nice.
It's actually not that hard. However, once you're on the chair and you look around, you see it's not going to be so easy from here. But the chairs are kind of made from the kind of funky material that has like a lot of holes in them, like a very breathable chairs.
What about the sides? Are they like whole?
Yeah, that's why you could grab. But there is a arm, like there's a one of those arm rests on it.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. God, I can't remember what those chairs are called. Like it's basically one of those.
I'm sitting in one, so
yeah.
Just check the name. It's not written on it.
It's like one of those chairs with a very breathable material. Like you can actually see through it.
Yeah. I actually have one of those too, but there's no name on it. Well,
yeah, I don't know what they're called, basically.
Use your imagination, people, like a bunch of savages.
Yeah. Yeah. You can climb up the back of it, but the biggest difficulty is trying to get onto the table itself. However, this is you could probably, if you get something, you could get from the armrest onto the table with a bit of difficulty. You would prefer going up the back of the chair, because that's basically the easiest way to climb. But you don't have an easy way to reach the table from there, because the back is a little bit far away.
If we make a running jump, can we use the armrest as a...
Wait, Styrmir, I have an idea.
Yes, what is it?
So if we are here and we start running, and then we jump and grab onto the seat and we try spinning the chair.
I like it. Let's try it.
It's not a bad idea. I like that idea a lot. So,
thank you kindly.
So I'm going to allow you, my good boy, Einar. You can use your work smart, not hard. Because this is definitely such a moment. And I want you guys to roll coordination, because you're trying to because this is not as much a brawn check as like trying to use your strength. It's more like trying to make it like coordinated so that you both do it in such a way that it does actually.
My ankle.
Can I simply assist him, or do I have to roll as well?
And I want you both to roll, because you're both trying to coordinate with each other.
Oh boy, here we go. I rolled a 2. This is not good.
I beat you. I roll a 1.
I will still allow you guys to. I will allow you guys to do feeling lucky because this is basically this is such a way. This is.
I heard that rolling onto the floor.
It did. I'll re-roll it. And I rolled a 10. Haha. Thank goodness for floor reroll.
Yeah.
Had my ankle not been sprained, I would have made this. However, it is, so I failed.
Even with your sprained ankle, like you just kind of buckle at the last moment, and you just go off the edge, but you still manage to grab, so you don't fall down. And you spin and you grab as well. And I'm guessing just to get the momentum, you let yourself go a little bit off the edge.
What? No.
No, you go off the edge no matter what, really. Because you buckle at the end. But you manage to grab nonetheless.
Okay.
You're just hanging. But you do manage to spin the chair.
According to plan!
I'm going to quickly help him back up.
Yeah. So when you do it, Stidmit, you just basically kind of instead of falling off the edge, you kind of grab at the edge and you just jump a little bit just to get the extra motion, because you're making up for him falling. But you manage to spin it, and you feel before you you land down on the chair again, and as you're thinking about helping your friend, you feel an immediate bump, and doof, and you almost lose balance, but because both of you are holding tight in on this stuff, you don't fall. The bump was quite hefty for you guys.
All right, we did it. Now let's climb up the back.
I'm actually going to reward you guys with a skill point for this that you can use for whatever.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Except for you, Eno. You get it into work hard, smart, not hard. Because this was literally that kind of moment.
I was going to put into that anyway.
Yeah. Except it's just a goose moment. So, a goose master gear. You guys have done a few pretty cool things this time specifically.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have to roll a climb check? Or
No. You don't need to. It's easy to climb this. And it's easy to get to the table now because you climb on the top and you just kind of climb a little, you climb up along the back of the chair, and you can just literally climb up almost all the way and step on top of the desk.
Aha.
It's very easy. And since it's still tilting a little bit in your favor, so it's pretty easy. On the desk you can see the laptop.
High five.
The laptop is obviously off. It doesn't seem to be turned on.
I wonder if it still has battery.
There's a bunch of paper on the desk. You see a handkerchief.
Oh my.
It seems to be clean.
Portable bed. Woohoo!
Alright, let's cut it up.
First we throw it off the edge.
Ah yeah, that's better.
Probably into the trash. A smooth landing.
I mean, the handkerchief doesn't really matter where it lands. It's not gonna...
Yeah, it's just...
No, I'm more worried about us.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, I am going to walk over to the papers to see if it's anything of interest. What do they read?
It just seems to be the status of his business, he's going over his taxes and stuff like that. Basic business stuff.
Why is he still doing this on paper? Doesn't he know you can do this stuff online now?
It seems to be the mail and stuff like that, and he's just looking through the stuff. He seems old-fashioned as well, but he's an old dude. He's an older gentleman.
I wouldn't know. I have never run a business before, and yeah, that's that. As I skim over it quickly.
You can see pencils and pens there that are reachable. There seems to be a bottle of water on the table.
Oh, look at that, Einar. We found some water.
Excellent.
Let's tip it. Just
Is it closed?
It is closed, but you have scissors and you can kind of cut through. Now,
But first we tip it off the edge. And
Yeah.
like, look out below!
so I want to know: are you pushing it from where you went up, or from the other side?
First we check out if he is below us. before we toss
Where do you
up.
want to be, Ottar? Are you still where they went up, or have you started exploring?
Just exploring.
All right, tell me. Are you? I'm guessing you've gone probably a little bit away from the table at this point. So yeah, I'll say that you see him walking away. So you know that he's not close by.
All right, I'm still gonna yell out, "Look out below!"
And you drop it down, and you hear like the thunk.
Boom.
It's like almost full. So
Yeah.
the thing that you do find of very much interest is on the table there is like one of those sushi rolls packaging, and in there is one of the where they keep the soy sauce, which is basically just, it still has soy sauce in it. It hasn't been used,
Oh.
Oh god.
but it's
So much salt.
it's so big. No, it's big, but if you just pour out the soy sauce, you could use it to bottle up water.
We better scrub that out twice.
Yeah, I agree.
I've had more salt than my kidneys could ever handle.
So, which one of you wants to take the I'm guessing you put the flat battery box out below, right, next to the trash can, right?
Yeah.
And do you want to do you want to drop the bottle back down there as well, or do you want to pour out of it first onto the sushi thing?
We'll
We'll-
drop
we'll-
everything
We'll
down.
we'll clean things on the floor.
Okay, so you drop the bottle down.
Now, one last thing before we head
I'll
back down.
write it to you, Stidmit. The soy.
clip.
No, not the paperclip. I'm actually gonna go jump on top the open laptop and push my foot on the power button.
I'm gonna go for
But
a
nothing
paper clip.
happens.
Seems it's run out of battery. Well, it was worth a shot. It's probably locked either way. And I'm going to go meet Einar at the paperclip.
Yeah, there are like quite a few paper clips actually.
Yeah, we can use these.
I
Very
throw all of
handy.
them overboard.
You just like push the together. You push the fucking thing that it's in, the holder. You just push it off the table,
Look out below!
and you see the paper clips just go everywhere.
It's
Yeah.
like, Ottar, come closer.
Okay.
He
Squish.
just like splat. 20 points. High five.
As they are climbing up, Ottar, you start exploring and looking about the room. You don't see a lot of useful things from the ground floor. You do find, like, on the floor at one point, like, a packaging for, like, a... for... what is it called? Like a... oh my god, why am I brain farting so hard today?
What's the item?
It's like for like a single piece of caramel or something like that.
Oh, it's a wrapper.
Yeah, wrapper for
Candy wrapper.
yeah, candy wrapper basically.
Or-
Yeah, basically a candy wrapper. It's big, but you could easily use it for like to put things in.
Can it have the picture of an elephant on it?
Yes, that's just...
Nice. Feel like
Perfect.
Carmilla.
So you could easily use it to put something in and just
Elephant
close it,
caramel.
and it would. You think that this would help you probably store like just because it's not, you can close it in such a way that it doesn't breathe as well. You might be able to store food there for a bit longer.
let the record show, Donald caramels are way better.
What?
This means war.
This does mean war.
If you want to take the wrapper with you, you can. But yeah, you could possibly put it into the box that they found, the flat battery box, to give it like a better bottom.
All right.
Like kind of coat it. So you pull like a wrapper and you kind of hold it, drag it behind you with one hand. But it doesn't seem like you find much more than that. There's just like you see like a single krona on the floor at one point, and you're like, this is unpractical for me to take this with me.
I am wealthy beyond imagining.
Like, it would be hard. It's like you can lift it up, but like this is a carpet, so it's really hard to roll it, and you can't really lift it like up with one hand. It's heavy for you. It's not like incredibly heavy. If you'd have both of your hands, you could definitely lift it, but you only have one of them.
If you want to be really fancy in translating that, just say an Icelandic crown.
Yeah, an Iceland. You found a single Icelandic crown. But other than that, you don't seem to find a lot of things of interest. You're just walking around the room. The thing that you are most happy about is that you don't see any rats or mice.
Think up.
The one that had a close encounter with that shit.
We climb back down the chair.
Yeah. Do you want to try to see if you can find anything else on the desk
Sure.
before you go down?
Was there anything else?
I mean, you made a pretty direct path to the paper clips and to the obvious things.
We'll
You
be
haven't-
thorough.
Yeah.
We
So
got
you're gonna
some
spend
time.
like some time up there, just taking a while to search. You manage to find not a lot of things of interest, but what you do find is you manage to find like a book that has a ribbon through it, like a very thin ribbon to mark your place in the book,
Yeah.
which you could cut and use for something. It could be very useful. You also find, basically, let's see, other than finding that, you find a, what was it? You find basically one of those, you find, it's not, you find like a, you know those pins, like, yeah, you find like a needle, like the like a sewing needle on his desk.
Hell yeah.
But it's the ones that you use to like hold things. It doesn't have like the threading for it. It's just like a needle with like a red end on it, like a round end at one side and a sharp end at the other side.
I know what you're talking about.
We
Yeah.
have found a spear.
My grandmother has like 1,000 of these.
Yeah, it's basically just like a needle that you use to hold things.
It's a stitching needle.
Yeah, it's a stitching needle.
I think. Well, don't quote me on that.
It doesn't have an eye, so it's not a stitching needle.
It's basically like, think of a stitching needle just without the eye, and it has like a ball, like a red ball on the end.
Do you mind if I take this, or do you want?
Of course.
All right, I'll put this into my inventory.
A
Needle.
stitching needle.
Just be careful on the way down. We don't want you to hurt yourself.
Yes. You know what? I'll throw it down, but I'm not holding it. For poking. All right. With all of our loot finally off the table. You could call it a loot table, if you will.
We shall
make our way
climb
back.
down.
Yes, and we meet Ottar back down there. Sorry about the mess we made, but let's put most of this stuff into the.
Yeah, around the time when you're coming down, Otar, you can easily see them as they're going down. And you kind of meet them.
Let's start loading up that battery box with all the goodies we found.
Yeah, you can.
I
You,
shall start cleaning the soy sauce out of that other box.
Thank you.
you can also craft it into a backpack, probably with the ribbon if you want to.
Wouldn't we want to just, drag, like put it on the ground and use it like a kind of a cart but without wheels?
You could.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you what you guys want to do.
Yeah. Actually, we could just thread the ribbon through it and drag it.
Yeah.
As if we were beasts of burden.
Lel, beasts of
So I just spill all of the soy sauce on the side and start cleaning it.
Yeah, you pour down and it's the soy sauce smell and it's like oh, and then you I mean you'd probably have to use the water bottle to clean it properly. You can also take some of the like used papers and stuff like that. There are also like some tissues and stuff like that that you could use to clean it properly. You can easily put your hand into it, by the way.
Yeah. I just pull some papers out of the trash and just scrub it clean.
Yeah, we should probably make another stop by the fridge when we get back. Now that we have more carrying space.
Yeah. It's also getting pretty late, so you probably feel like it would probably be a smart thing to rest here. It would so happen that the trash can seems like a pretty safe place. The only one that would have a really hard time getting into it is Otar, but with help he could get into it.
Could we tip it on its side?
Yes, you could, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of if you wanted safety, basically.
I mean, rats can climb. We're not safe.
Yeah. Like,
True.
This would be for comfort. Rats can easily climb it.
But yes, you could easily tip it on the side and like make a hiding spot there.
Yeah, that works.
But I'm gonna guess you don't want to have the meat with you in there if you're gonna be doing that.
No. So, I put forth the motion that we
Yep.
to black.
That is what we're doing. And just so you
So we tip it over.
you tip it over with a little
leave
bit of
the
effort.
meat a bit away, and we and we all go into the handkerchief inside the trash.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna use the handkerchief for the first time in there. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna say that you have a large, huge handkerchief that needs to be cut down.
Yeah, we can do that as we get ready to sleep.
I mean, you could also do it just the day after. You can snuggle up this time.
Truly, a catch worthy of murder. Forgive me, I'm feeling a bit literary as I swing my needle around.
Yeah, the needle basically is like a very long spear,
Nice.
especially when it like compared to your size right now. It just seems very comforting when you know about the knowing about the dangers, basically. That of the rats.
Uh-huh.
All right, there we go. All right, there. And as you kind of snuggle up in there, you leave basically everything that you don't need to take with you into the sleeping area. Just kind of right outside, tucked underneath the trash can, kind of in such a way that it's not easily noticeable and wouldn't attract attention of the rats or anything like that. And you walk with the meat like a significant distance away. Just to be sure that they wouldn't notice you. You take
First we have some meat, and then we put it away.
Yeah, so you walk you jog maybe with it for like 15 minutes, put it down and jog back. Should be like around a half an hour away if you'd walk. It's pretty far away from you, at least.
I mean, we don't need to put it that far away.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme.
Rats?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Rats have a very good sense of smell, guys.
Yeah, which means
I
they
mean-
can smell us.
Yeah.
Well, you
The meat
no-
is there so they fill on the meat, not us.
yeah, so you put it away, and and you lay down for the evening, and that is where we will fade this time. I want to thank Shade for joining us this time around. We did some rule editing for the first time.
Yes.
I think it was a very good rule edit.
Yeah,
think-
it seems to it addressed an issue that was needed.
Yeah. It addressed a very, it was a good issue to kind of get out of the way. So, because Óttar is still with you right now, I'm going to ask Alex if he wants to be the guest next time around again.
Sure.
Should have thrown into the rat.
Ah. Throw him to the bear.
I didn't manage to kill him this time, but guys, there's always next time.
There is always hope.
Yes, there's always hope. So, for people that are watching, the next session of Size Zero will not be next week, but the week after that.
Indeed.
It is because
All goes well.
yes, it is because of basically scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, basically every other Friday, every other Wednesday is busy, basically. So we will be back the 3rd of April, which is then, and Shade will be joining us again as Óttar Hinole, or Otto the what was the name? Otto the Unbelievable.
Aha.
Yeah. So, check in with us back then. We will be continuing this silly little story then. Maybe they will be able to get back in one piece. Or maybe they will have a bad time with rats. But who knows? Not us! Bye, guys!
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Goodbye.